Yo, what is going on, Cover One Crew? Welcome back to the show. Everybody's doing awesome. I'm great as always. Draft weekend. We are getting that much closer to the NFL season. We're going to continue down this path of rankings, this time on the top 40 for these running backs. Get you guys ready in the know for your drafts. If you haven't got your draft guide, it was already in there anyway, so I'm going to help y'all out in this cause. If you have not, I'm telling y'all, you missed out. Hopefully you can still get your copy today, but I mean, we're getting closer to the beginning of the season, so we'll just dive into these rankings. Number one, Saquon Barkley. My dude, man, still ranked as my number one. I understand a lot of y'all got Bijan as your number one, and it's hard to argue. I get the fact that Saquon's coming off a monster campaign with so many carries and touches overall. A lot of y'all worried about health and injury. I understand that, but Saquon right now for me is the clear-cut number one, as Philly's going to plan to run it back once again this season. Bijan Robinson is number two for me, as these Falcons are on the rise, definitely moving in the right direction. We know what Bijan is, just like a Gibby. I mean, these guys are going to be some of the best running backs in the league for many years to come. Bijan is a no-brainer, man. 82.4% on that boom rate last year. He's going to continue this year, especially if Michael Penix Jr. can actually play football. We're going to see some good stuff coming from this run game as well. Number three, Jahmyr Gibbs. Gimme, my dude. Love me some Jahmyr Gibbs. And a lot of y'all are thinking because Ben Johnson is gone, that this offensive punch is not going to be similar. It's still going to be the Gibby and Monty show. Don't get that twisted. But yes, Gibby is one of these guys who is super electric. We saw what he did the last 5 games of the season when Monty was down with his injury. That's why a lot of y'all thinking that it's going to fade a David Montgomery into the back seat. Ain't going to happen. He's still going to get his carries, still going to get his touches, and they rotate basically series on series. But Gibby is absolutely as safe as they come, at 94% on that boom rate last year. He's absolutely a no-brainer. If you had him at number one, can't argue it either, man. Number four, Derrick Henry. Again, 94% on that boom rate. A lot of y'all thought he was washed. He's a cyborg, man. Different type of player. Eventually, the fall-off will happen for Derrick Henry, but in this Baltimore Ravens offense, it was one of the easiest evaluations I've ever had in my career doing this, is the fact that Derrick Henry, when he signed with those Ravens, it was easy money, man. Everyone was, oh, it's not going to happen. Yes, it's going to happen again this year as well, man. Another 1,700-plus campaign is going to be in the books. Derrick Henry, absolutely number four. If you don't have him in the top 5, you're way too low on a Derrick Henry. CMC, Christian McCaffrey, at number 5, been up and down, and, he's been doing very well so far in offseason and training camp. A lot of his teammates saying he looks like the old CMC of old, but that's a good thing for us. The fact that we could get low-end value, and if he even is like 85% of old CMC, you're still going to maybe get 300 points from Christian McCaffrey. Sign me up all freaking day long for all that productivity, especially with no Brandon Ayuk. They're going to utilize this man quite a bit. Don't get scared off with the Brian Robinson effect. I still think, we know Kyle Shanahan. He loves to run the football. Without Ayuk, without Jennings potentially, no more Debo. They're going to have to lean upon this ground game quite a bit, and that's good news for CMC. Number 6, Kyren Williams. I'm higher than most on Kyren. Man, this guy does everything right. Don't know what you guys are missing, man. 87% on that boom rate. This guy just hits on the regular. Now with Devontae Adams on this team, I think they're going to be even that much more explosive, because you finally got a true outside threat like a Devontae, alpha wide receiver, and Kyren. He's showed that he can absolutely play in this league and be super productive, man. I understand he's outside of some people's top 10, not in mine. The pass catching ability, the rushing upside, all of it is definitely here on display for Kyren Williams. 87% on that boom rate. Like I said, he's going to absolutely repay us when you draft him where you do. Josh Jacobs, number 7 for these Green Bay Packers, took over the Packers offense basically last year, about the midway point where they kind of were searching for an identity, where they wanted to be more pass happy. Jordan Love fell to injury, and then they started running the football like madmen. It's going to happen again, and it may be a little bit more balanced in 2025, where Jordan Love is coming off that thumb injury surgery. I think they're going to come out the gates running the football a lot with Josh Jacobs. He should be very productive once again. You look at his last 8 games last season. He was so damn good for us. Potential league winner last year as well. He could be flirting with very similar numbers once again. Lots of touchdowns, lots of carries, lots of yards for a Josh Jacobs in Green Bay. Now with Micah Parsons, this defense going to give them the football that much more. Unbelievable trade that went down, man. Number 8, Jonathan Taylor, JT. Now with a Daniel Jones, Daniel Pennies. I absolutely love the potential Bowl and the prospects of a JT getting right back on track as long as there's some ounce of a pass game threat in Indianapolis. We saw it with Joe Flacco, and JT had, 1,400 yards last year? He's going to repay us once again this year, and I like how everyone is so down on these guys. I have no problem putting JT as my running back one in my offense this year, especially if you're stacking wide receivers early, and if JT falls to you in that second round, it is straight up gold, man. So Ja'Marr Chase and JT, if that's how your board falls, unbelievable duo you're going to have, and you will thank me later when it comes to Jonathan Taylor. Bucky Irving, he cracks my top 10, lifted up my ranks just a little bit. Now he is at number 9. I understand, there's situational, aspects with his Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. Chris Godwin's likely going to miss the first few weeks. Maybe they said anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks, get his football legs back, and then we'll see what Chris Godwin does. So many mouths to feed. A lot of y'all think that Bucky's just going to take the role and run with it. Rachaad White's still going to have a role, but Bucky's going to have, the way Bucky played last year, absolutely surprising, and he's going to continue to pick up where he left off. He was a rookie. Year 2, he's going to understand the NFL game that much more. Bucky's going to have a very strong season, even though I do believe Rachaad White is not going anywhere either, man, but it's not enough to take the bread out of an Irving's mouth. Number 10, Ashton Jeanty. I know a lot of y'all are like, screaming at me to put him up in, what do we see, man? He was like number 4 ADP running back. Crazy. I will not do it for a rookie running back whatsoever, especially on an offense with the Las Vegas Raiders, who do have a struggling offensive line issues, and we'll see how it does go. New coaching regime, new quarterback. Everything is new in Las Vegas this year when it comes to this offense. So is Jeanty going to be good in quality? I believe he will. I outside of injuries, Genty's very much a quality running back, but the violent nature of the running back, you got to hedge bet, man, because if he gets injured and you waste a top pick for this man, you're going to be crying and hurting down the road. Still at number 10 for me. Maybe next year, maybe the year after that, we start to lift, Ashton Jeanty up in the rankings into the top 5, but I cannot do it in his rookie season. Y'all be talking crazy. I will not do it, man. Number 10 is definitely fair value for me for an Ashton Jeanty. Number 11, James Cook, my dude. He was in the doghouse before he signed his contract. Now he's back in the good books with me. That's all we needed, because he was going to be taking it, playing it safe, taking some games off, taking some snaps off because he wanted his bag, protect his body, not to get injured. Now, arguably the second best player on this Bills offense when it comes to skill positions. James Cook with a new contract with Josh Allen going for that Super Bowl. He's going to have an absolute stellar campaign as well, man. Coach McDermott and Brandon Beane also said, they got no problem with him being the lead back, and neither did I when he was drafted by these Bills. Everyone's saying he was only like the scat back type of guy. He's a lead back, and he's a damn good playmaker as well. He's gotten bigger, stronger, and the speed is just there on display. James Cook, number 11, he will have a ball-out season once again. Number 12, Chase Brown, Cincinnati Bengals. They're going to have to, play a lot of good offense this year again. Offensive line, again, still issues on that line. Defense is in shambles. They're going to have to put up 35 points again this season. It didn't work out for them last year, so we got to understand there's going to be a lot of offensive output for these Bengals once again this year. Chase Brown proved that, moving on from Joe Mixon was a smart choice, and he can carry the load. 75% on that boom rate last year. He's also good in the pass game. Chase Brown is one of the best. If you get him as your RB2, man, you guys are laughing all day long to the bank if he is your running back 2. Number 13, Breece Hall. I'm still not done. I'm still not out on Breece Hall. Well, this could be, his last days with these New York Jets. Final campaign. They got Braylon Allen. They got Isaiah Davis. They will utilize Braylon Allen a lot more this year. I do have that feeling. But Breece Hall's definitely got to prove it, man, because he wants his contract. Admittedly said, he hasn't done what James Cook and company have done to earn their contracts. So he's definitely got a chip on his shoulder. Whether or not it's going to be with these New York Jets or with a different team down the road, Breece Hall definitely has something to prove. I still got him at 13 because contract seasons bring out the best in a lot of these players. Number 14, Devin off the A-Chain. Know a lot of y'all got him ranked way higher than I do. He's fallen down my board some based on that injury, but this has been the problem in the MO for an Achane because of the fact of the soft tissue injuries. The ankles, the hamstrings, the groins, it's always been prevalent back in his days at Texas A&M, but he is so damn good when he is on the field, extremely productive, and this is something of a, we'll see season for these Miami Dolphins. Everybody could be fired after this year if they don't make the postseason. I still like the definite upside of an Achane, but you definitely got a hedge bet because the injuries continue to pile up on this man just based on his frame. Hence why I talk about a guy like Jeanty, based on the frame and stature. I mean, and Jeanty runs extremely violent, even though he's more put together than somebody like Achane. you just got to hedge bet, man, because injuries will pile up on these gentlemen. Number 15, Alvin Kamara. It feels dirty. I could put Alvin Kamara in my top 10 once again this year and feel absolutely comfortable with it, man. I'm getting all the shares I can based on the ADP where we can get Alvin Kamara at. I don't even give a crap that Spencer Rattler, who is my guy, I love me some Spencer Rattler, he's got to show it on the field, man. This team has got everything to say they're tanking for this next NFL draft, potentially Arch Manning or one of these quarterbacks coming into the NFL next year. This is still good news for us in fantasy football, man. Late game, if they are losing, garbage time productivity, check down upside, PPR upside is going to be peppered too in Alvin Kamara. 85% before he went down for that injury on that boom rate. He was killing it for us. He should once again this year. Alvin Kamara at 15, and I would have no issue jumping him back into my top 10. I'm just playing it a little safer this time because we can get him as our RB2, and we're smiling ear to ear. David Montgomery at number 16. Like I said, Monty Gibby show. It is not through, man. These guys are definitely going to be a tandem once again, even though Gibbs is showcasing the fact that he is one of the best running backs in this league. David Montgomery's not going anywhere, man. He was an 85% boom rate player before he went down for injury. I believe he had a touchdown in almost every single game. Like, he was anytime touchdown player when you're betting on this stuff, and he was hitting on every single game, man. 10 to 15 points, easy money all day long for a David Montgomery. Even if he's your running back 2 or 3, it is very good news, man. He's not going anywhere in Detroit. They are definitely, poised to try to go compete for the Super Bowl, and Montgomery's going to be a big part of this offense once again. Omarion Hampton, rookie number 17, Los Angeles Chargers. I love me some Omarion Hampton. Much like Trevion Henderson, Omarion Hampton was my guy going back to the days at UNC with a Drake May and company. Absolutely love the skill set, love the ability. Reminds me of this Arian Foster type of deal. Maybe a little bit slower. Foster had those breakaway wheels. Or Omarion Hampton, he does get caught from behind. He's an underrated pass catcher, absolutely light feet. He's a fantastic runner at 17. I would like him as my running back 2 this year over being a running back 1 if you guys are waiting for your backs. But I mean, I still do believe by the time we get to about week 6, he should already have the role carved out, even though Najee Harris is back on the field and practicing. James Conner, number 18. Rumor has it that there will be something of a split backfield this year with a Trey Benson. I'm totally fine with it because, alleviate some touches and carries from a James Conner is a good thing. Keep him healthy, keep him upright, and I mean, he still should produce. This guy just puts out fantasy points every single season, and we cannot, skip past him, but I would, he falls into that range in a lot of our drafts where we kind of got to be like, yeah, I got to pass up on him because I took running backs early, so I'm going to go, get my wide receivers later on. James Conner is still very much reliable at the running back spot for us in fantasy football. Chuba Hubbard at number 19. Like what I'm seeing from these Carolina Panthers, moving in the right direction, but they did get a Rico Dowdle, and I mean, there's some other running backs there as well, so it's very interesting how they're hedge betting on the running back position. Chuba was very strong for us last year. They rewarded him with a contract extension. He will have the sizable lead role once again this year. I mean, but for me, the price might be a little too high, but based on the output, he should still be in the top 20 where I got him ranked today, man. Number 20, my dude, Trevion Henderson. You guys know I was flirting with this early on in the draft process, saying Trevion is the best running back to come out of this draft class, and I don't think I was wrong. I was just, a little cautious with saying it. Now we've seen it in preseason. I'm not going to say he's the best. He could be the best running back out of this class, even above an Ashton Genty. Skill set is there. The pass pro, absolutely stellar. Hands are great. This guy is truly the real deal, man. I put a tweet out a long time ago. It was Trevion Henderson is closer to Jahmyr Gibbs than Ashton Genty is to somebody like Bijan. And it's facts, man. You're going to see it on the field and the way these Patriots are moving in the right direction. I love what I see for the potential of a Trevion Henderson. Number 21, K9, Kenneth Walker III. He falls down my board, and it's just due in part to injuries, man. This guy's missed basically all of the offseason with an injury. Again, Zach Charbonnet has filled in very much admirably, and then some when it comes to spelling out a Kenneth Walker when he is in the medical room. This offense would be absolutely dynamic, and I will, plant my flag on this. I do believe Kenneth Walker is a top 5 running back in fantasy football if he can play 17 games. The guy he's so damn physical that he just keeps getting injured, man. So fast, soft tissue injuries. So what continues to happen, his body just is giving up on him already. So for me, 21 is okay. Would prefer him as my running back 3 this year, and then you're still going to have to hedge bet because injuries just continue to pile up on the man. Number 22, Aaron Jones. know a lot of y'all like a Jordan Mason. Don't get it twisted. Aaron Jones still going to be the lead back in this offense. Mason will get in the action, but I'm telling y'all, it's Aaron Jones' backfield to own and lose at this point with J.J. McCarthy. Lots of checkdowns. Alvin Kamara-esque type of situation you got to believe for an Aaron Jones, and he still will run the football extremely well. He is one of the better. You could still utilize him as a running back too. Feel okay about it, but he's great for a running back 3 mold on our teams, man. Tony Pollard with the news of Tyjae Spears going down with injury with that ankle injury on the PUP list, missing the first 4 games. This is everything good news for Tony Pollard. If you draft Tony, you start him every single week because volume is going to be absolutely key there in the first 4 games until Tyjae Spears does come back. He's going to be loaded with opportunity, and with a Cam Ward, this offense should be better. Do I believe Cam Ward's going to be the next best thing since sliced bread in his first, 8 games? Probably not. There's going to be a lot of mistakes, but they will utilize and lean upon a Tony Pollard a lot. Love him at number 23. The value to return on investment is absolutely stellar, man. Isaiah Pacheco at number 24. I got him here because, these Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, boy, got to feel like there is, a resurgence type of season coming for Patrick Mahomes. He had one of his worst statistical seasons, losing the Super Bowl the way he did. The chip on his shoulder is going to be massive. Isaiah Pacheco, on the other hand, coming off injury. Again, he's one of these violent running backs that I'm kind of avoiding. Even though I rank him here at 24, I still feel like I would pass up on him because of the potential due to injury based on the violent nature of the running back. I just don't like it, man. You're going to have to pick at least 2 more running backs if you go after a Pacheco, so that's kind of why I got him in this situation. Number 25, DeAndre Swift, and this might be a little bit low as Ben Johnson is still familiar with a DeAndre Swift from the Detroit days, and he may utilize him just like Jahmyr Gibbs, and maybe who the Monty is going to be in this offense is Roschon. We will see. But they're going to run the football a lot. Try to keep Caleb happy, keep him off the turf. And there's a lot of upside for DeAndre Swift, not only in the checkdowns, but in the mass upside in the rushing attack, where they're going to try to establish this run game quite a bit. The offensive line in Chicago is not great, so there is worrisome signs there as well, but you got to get the ball in his hands in the pass game like you did with Gibby. I think that DeAndre Swift has another very strong season. Caleb Johnson, another rookie, number 26 for me. Pittsburgh Steelers, this is absolutely unbelievable. The Steelers just continue to turn over running backs. Najee Harris out the door. You got yourselves I even think maybe a better running back than a Najee Harris at his time coming out of college. Caleb Johnson is one of these dudes, man. He's not the most elusive running backs, but once he gets chugging down that field, you're going to understand what I'm saying. And he's a big boy, man. He's over 225 pounds and still room to grow. This guy's going to be absolutely stellar in the ground and pound with these Pittsburgh Steelers. RJ Harvey, number 27 for me. J.K. Dobbins, R.J. Harvey, back-to-back, 27-28. Pick your poison. Right now, as of today, I'm selling J.K. Dobbins over R.J. Harvey, but I rank him for the upside. So the upside does suggest that R.J. Harvey, at the end of the season, should have more yards and carries than a J.K., but they paid J.K. $5.2 million. He's not going to sit on the bench. So we could see a very nice tandem here in Denver with Bo Nix in the upside. This offense should be very exciting, very fun to watch. Joe Mixon, number 29. And, theoretically, this should be moving down the board that much more after his press conference from the coach saying, we don't know. His foot has to respond to treatment, and he's on the PUP now 4 games. If you get Joe Mixon in the 10th, 11th, 12th round in your drafts and you have an IR spot, absolutely take a shot. Outside of that, if you don't have any IR spots, pass up on Joe Mixon this year because the injury could derail him. He could go for surgery, opt out for surgery, and that's the season for Joe Mixon. So do not waste a pick on Joe unless you're in the 10th to 12th round and have an IR spot to house him on. Number 30, Tyrone Tracy, New York Giants. He had an okay season, rookie season. Lots of flash, lots of dash, and there wasn't a lot to work with at the quarterback spot. Now you got guys like Russell Wilson, Jackson Dart, my dude, Jameis Winston. There's a lot of good passing upside here. Now you got Cam Scatterboo as the backup running back. This is going to be a very nice tandem. Thunder and lightning type of tandem. Tyrone Tracy just has to learn not to fumble the football. If he cuts out his fumbling problem, this guy could easily go for 1,000 yards and be a very strong value later on in these drafts. Don't discount, the fact that, okay, they drafted a Cam Scatterboo don't discount the fact that Tyrone Tracy's still going to have a role until proven otherwise. Just got to clean up those fumbling issues, man. Number 31, Javonte Williams, Dallas Cowboys. The trade for Micah Parsons to those Packers. This offense, man, everyone thinks, oh, this defense is going to be absolutely terrible. They weren't that great with Micah Parsons anyway. Just got pressures after the quarterback. So you know what this offense is going to have to do with a CeeDee Lamb and a George Pickens. They need a run game, and the viable run game potential with a Javonte. I love the sleeper appeal that we do see for him. He is going to be the lead back. Jaden Blue is the blueprint, is my guy as well. Eventually, he's going to take some touches. He's going to take some carries, but Javonte was never really, that adept at, catching the football. That's Jaden Blue. So I do believe even if he's a 2-down role, potentially 3-down back on this offense, there's going to be a good heaping of potential here of 1,000 yards, maybe 8 touchdowns scored for Javonte. It is kind of a fingers crossed situation, but you will not get a better starting running back this late in drafts, man. Number 32, Rachaad White. PPR upside is definitely still on tap. Do not discount the fact that everyone's saying Bucky's going to be the lead. Sure, but I'm telling y'all right now, Rachaad White is not going anywhere, man. They're even trying to get Sean Tucker some carries in this offense, but Rachaad White is so much better in the pass game than he is in the rushing side of things. That's why they utilize him the way they do in the pass game. Baker Mayfield still is going to find this guy. He's going to have a very good season, 180 points-ish, and if that's your flex option on matchup appeal, you're winning all day long, man. Number 13, Zach Charbonnet. I would lift him up higher if he was a starting running back without Kenneth Walker, without question. Charbonnet is one of the best young running backs to be in this league, and he will prove it, man. We saw the tape from UCLA. We've seen the NFL tape. He is a battering ram with wheels. What else do you want from the guy? But until Kenneth Walker is no longer on the squad, which could be next year, and if Kenny does not get on the field and stays in that medical room, Charbonnet is definitely going to have a role. Travis Etienne, Tank Bigsby, 34-35. What do we do with this Jacksonville Jaguars team? Man, stay away is my kind of humble opinion at this point. Travis, Tank Bigsby, and then the rookie Tootin, they're all going to have a role according to the head coach, and that's a big, troublesome, worrisome spot for our fantasy teams. At this point, you got to say Tank Bigsby above a Travis Etienne. I got it ranked the opposite way because Travis Etienne's got more wheels, more ability. It was just a terrible season overall, and if Travis could have a bounce back, he could be back to being that lead back in this offense. So they're going to try to feel things out the first 3 weeks of the season, and if Travis does, crap the bed, he could be found his way out to another team, which isn't necessarily a bad thing for him. Fresh start could give him new upside, no question, man. Tank Bigsby, like I said, there is upside as well, but I mean, again, pick your poison with these guys. Just hedge bet in your drafts later on, just in case things don't pan out. Number 36, Ramondre Stevenson, Dre. Now with Trevion Henderson, here's another duo of a Thunder and Lightning that you guys can absolutely utilize. Yes, we are dropping Dre down the ranks quite a bit, but this is good news for us because he could be a very viable flex running back 3 for us this season. His role should not be going, I don't want to say anywhere, but his role should still have, credence to at least start on a weekly basis, at least for the first 6 weeks of the season. If Trevion actually shows that he is a 3-down back like I think he could be, then we'll start talking. But, I mean, between Dre and Trev, I think this running game is going to be very strong. And you see the MO. Everybody's copycatting what the Detroit Lions are doing. Thunder and Lightning, it wins you ball games. Ramondre Stevenson still will have a role, but he will likely have some stinker contest. Number 37, big riser up my board is a Braylon Allen, who was my top running back coming out of his draft class. Absolutely love a Braylon Allen coming out of Wisconsin. This guy is a behemoth, man, with wheels for days. Just needs touches, man. We saw what he had, with a small sample size last year with these Jets, with Justin Fields, the rushing upside, the RPOs, definitely going to be impacting the run upside. Love it. Huge late round definite draft is a Braylon Allen, especially if you miss out on a Breece Hall. Number 38, Trey Benson. Like I said, with a James Conner, this is likely going to be a tandem approach. I'm not rushing to the draft board to go get him, but I definitely do like the prospects that he could bring because he does got speed, he does got playmaking ability, and he will be a great complement to a James Conner once they figure out how to utilize this tandem. Great value where he sits at number 38. Big riser, too, is a Jordan Mason at 39. The coach O'Connell says there could be a potential aspect where we see both these guys on the field, Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason at the same time. Okay, I mean, they're going to try to make their rookie quarterback, well, quote-unquote rookie first year starting in the league, Mason's going to have a role. He's going to spell out an Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is what, 31 years old at this point, so they're definitely going to try to alleviate some touches and carries to keep him healthy and fresh. But with a J.J. McCarthy, you're going to have to utilize this run game. There is viable options, but I am not comfortable starting him until we see how his role is going to be utilized, maybe up until week 3. Then we can start talking the good graces. Tyjae Spears went to the PUP list before I did this, after I did this show with my rankings. So, I mean, at this point, you could drop Tyjae down maybe 10 more spots, but even at 40, it's still warranted if you got an IR spot, because when he is on the field, he still is very strong, very good, and he will split touches with a Tony Pollard. So at that point, I mean, pick your poison, drop him down the board just a little bit now that he is on the PUP list, but I still do like him once he is back on the field. But there that is, top 40 running backs as we get closer to the NFL season. You guys are going to be drafting it up this weekend. So will I, man. Can't wait. It is a great time to be alive, baby. Football is back, and we're definitely in business, man. Nevertheless, as always, don't forget that like button, hit that subscribe button, jump in those comments, give me your thoughts, and we'll see you next time. I am out.